Now, the following story may piss you off. It may make you sick to your stomach with anger. Justice or just us? You decide. New York police detective. This happened July 29th. That's today. 7/29/2012. NYPD detective suspended after kidnapping victim found in his garage. Headline Fox News. Yeah, you probably thought I twisted that. Let me read it to you as is again. NYPD detective suspended. Not thrown in jail. Not handcuffed. Not prosecuted. Not SWAT team kicked this door down. Matter of fact, the SWAT team's busy kicking the lady's door down because she didn't want her child to get some kind of vaccine that had poison in it. Psychiatric drug, which they all have poison in them, basically, if you look at what's in them. Now, the SWAT team's designed for her because the state says, we think we know what's better for your child, we're going to take her. And then you're going to fight us 10 months straight to find out who's right. And apparently, thank God, the lady won. Got her kid back. But it took 10 months. Did the SWAT team or the cops that showed up to yank her kid out of the house, do you think they even thought twice that, this might be wrong? I don't feel, Sergeant, I don't feel comfortable doing, Lieutenant, I don't feel comfortable doing this. Something doesn't sound right here. Do you think any of that happened? Not a chance in hell. Boys, we got the green light on the SWAT team army tank truck thing. Armored vehicle. Gear up. It's time to put on a show, boys. Yeah, let's go get another bad guy. They don't care what the reason is. They don't care anything. NYPD detective suspended after kidnapping victim found in his garage. Not the neighbor's garage. Not the upstairs apartment. Not the one below him. In his garage. And get ready for this. A 17-year veteran of the New York Police Department has been suspended without pay after a kidnap. Without pay. Darn. They might as well pay. You might as well pay him. Pay him. This is so absurd. Pay him. Give him a bonus. Give him a bonus. For God's sakes. Suspended without pay after a kidnapping victim was found tied up in his garage. The New York Post reports Andre Johnson, or is that Andre because it starts with an O, a detective with the Brooklyn North Gang Unit, was being questioned in connection with the incident and was forced to surrender his gun and badge. Why doesn't it say he had to surrender his gun and badge and was arrested? If you find a tied up missing person, active missing persons case, guy just went missing, this young person, and he's tied up in your police personnel's garage, you think there's just a smidgen of probable cause to arrest him. This is incredible. A source, tells the Post the 25-year-old victim was snatched off the street on July 26th. The victim's friends then got calls demanding $75,000 for the victim's release. The call was traced to Johnson's home. When authorities arrived Friday afternoon, Johnson answered the door and identified himself as a detective with the New York Police Department. You're a detective. Now, I'm not the smartest man in the world. And I understand that police departments around the world around this country are being forced to hire lesser and lesser and lesser educated people due to civil rights complaints and other complaints. So now we're getting real talented IQ, high IQ people, if you know what I mean, going in the police departments. No, it's low IQ. Follow orders, no problem. I'll do whatever the hell you tell me to do, and I'll do whatever the hell I want because I got a gun and a badge, and I don't care about the Constitution. I'm in charge, and that's it. That's the kind of mentality you're going to get. But you'd think he might have known, this detective that got caught, using a phone from your house can be traced. You might have thought this detective worked on a case or two in which he probably had to trace or have some other department of his, where he works, trace a call or two in his dealings with, case after case, being a freaking, detective. Because normally you're a police officer first, you work traffic and the streets, and then you become a detective later on. This guy's been around for a while. He might have known that call would be traced. This is absurd. Investigators then found the victim tied up in the garage. 4 men have been charged in the apparent kidnapping scheme. So they got him. He's got to be one of the 4, right? Well, let me finish this last paragraph. I mean, obviously, right? 30-year-old Hakeem Clark, who lives in the same building as Johnson, Johnson's the detective, was charged with kidnapping and weapons possession, along with 27-year-old Jason Hudson and 27-year-old James Gale. 24-year-old Alfredo Houghton was charged with kidnapping. Final sentence: Johnson, the detective, was not or has not been charged. They found the guy tied up in his garage, but he's not being charged. You don't suppose this old detective, one of the boys, the club, not the club, but the police officer club, and that pretty much is a club whenever you work for whatever department, whether it's a county sheriff, the city police, whatever county, whatever state, whatever city, it all applies everywhere. That little unit, that's the club of that particular area. Sheriff's office, that's their club. Tampa Police, in my case, Tampa Police, that's the club of those guys. So there's all these different clubs, and you are not invited. Johnston has not been charged. So you don't suppose old Johnston said, look, I think these guys in these apartments near me tried to set me up. They were calling, and they put him in my garage. I had no idea that they put him in my garage. I had no idea the guy was down there. I didn't hear any noise. Okay, well, how did they get into your garage? I don't know. Maybe they saw me press the key code on the outside once or twice. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, okay, no problem. You're done. Suspended for a couple weeks without pay. Have a nice day. That's it. No further questioning. Have a nice day. Lindsey Williams, for the 1000th time, 2 years ago, and I quote, "You will not recognize America in 2 years. It will not be the same America it is even right now." And that was in 2010, after the banker takeover, after the banker bailout, after all kinds of crap, financially and otherwise, other bills and crap being passed. Here we are in 2012, 2 years later, as he said, you will not recognize America. This story, I don't care what part of Brooklyn, New York, I don't care. I don't care if it was Compton, California. I don't care if it was the West Side. Doesn't matter. This should not be read anywhere within the entire boundary of the United States of America. Period. Johnson has not been charged. And in all fairness, maybe there's more to the story that'll come out a little later. And there really was a reason this guy was tied up into his garage, and he has nothing to do with it. I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. However, I can't be biased. Old Jason at 4, Realist News, can't be biased now, can he? Nope. So I got to leave that side open in case some phenomenal evidence comes out of this, and this guy really didn't do it somehow. Yeah, okay. Anyways, take care.